morning, good afternoon, evening. How are you doing?
Good day, greetings to you. Thank you very much for taking out the time to interview me. It's a pleasure to see you again. I'm fine, I'm great, thank you.
Good. So you've been here for a few months now in Canada.
It's been 5 months exactly.
And how's your visit?
It's wonderful. When we came here, we came here for, it's a beautiful city, it's very safe, it's a lovely country. When I met few people here,
Yeah.
I feel they're the kindest people on earth. So I'm going to say that we probably get some shock when we go out of Canada because this is the beautiful place. I mean, it's heaven on earth. So I'm very happy to be here.
So, being the wife of a diplomat, you guys must be traveling a lot.
We have traveled a lot. Yes, you're right.
And
About 5 or 6 countries
Yeah.
so far. So I mean, if I may list, it'll be, and those are interesting places.
Whenever you go to a place, obviously, the very first time you get there, there's a little bit of a shock or pleasant.
There are
feeling.
hitches for
Yeah.
sure. There are for sure hitches.
And then you're
yes.
there for at least 3 years, right?
At least 3 years, yeah.
And then, by the time you're leaving, is it like, oh,
It's always home, It's honestly speaking, I have left 6 homes, and you leave a part of yourself back. Some affect you more than the other,
Yes.
and some are like very close to your heart.
yes,
But then this is life, You leave something and you gain something else. So I'm happy to do that as well. I'm happy to leave, to live for 3 years and
Yes.
then leave it nicely
Right.
and have beautiful, pleasant memories with me, and ready to move ahead. So
now, as a wife of a diplomat, as a doctor by profession, how does that affect your own profession?
well, that's a painful story to start with, but it wasn't, over the years, it was not so painful.
Right,
Because I kind of gathered that this is what it's going to be.
right.
And since I have my lemon, I might as well make a beautiful sweet lemonade out of it, which I tried making it and it succeeded, which was wonderful. As you said, yeah, it wasn't the best combination, a diplomat getting married to a doctor. Because I'm a very career-oriented person. I'm very goal-oriented. So for me, it was just not possible to think.
Right.
But then when I got married, well, that part of me kind of just died because,
Yeah.
you want to get married, you get married.
That's right.
So, but then I tried my best. I started learning language. For example, when I got married, we went to Germany, and it was a beautiful city, beautiful country. We were in Bonn, a beautiful city. But then again, a little boring because
Right.
when you are a working woman,
Yes,
you have different interests.
for sure.
So I learned the language there, and I worked in the hospital, which was very satisfying because when I went back to India and I wanted to practice there,
Yeah.
the best of the hospital, the best of the doctors told me, oh, well, you can't practice because you're 10 years ahead of time. And that kind of made me, ironically, that kind of made me feel good and bad about it at the same time.
Right.
But I was just happy that, okay, I know something which probably most of the other doctors do not know.
Don't know.
So that's, so I have been trying very hard. I haven't given up as such, even till today.
Well, good for you.
During the course of the time, I realized that I'm becoming more of a linguistic teacher than of a doctor, because I ended up learning fluent German, fluent Russian, and then when it came to French, I was like, no. I don't, I'm fine. So then I diverted myself to public health.
Right.
So I did my master's, well, I just finished, in fact, 7 years back,
Yes.
from London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. Distance learning, wonderful program, and it's a fantastic thing what the universities are offering.
Yeah, I bet it is.
It's a lovely thing. You are sitting at home, you are earning a degree,
Yes.
and you make good use of it. So after that, I practiced, in the sense, not practiced, but I
Right.
worked in the UN, in
Right.
WHO headquarters when we were in Switzerland. And then I worked in Ukraine, which was a fantastic time for me. I
Now,
enjoyed the time.
Ukraine was the last one before you came
Ukraine
here.
was our last posting, yeah, before
And-
we came here.
And fond memories?
Absolutely, I can go back anytime. That's home. That's
So
really
that's
home.
another home.
That's absolutely. I think that is the home.
Now,
Yeah.
you so beautifully chronologically told me as to how your career path has you've enhanced it as you go along with different postings. So let me take you to your childhood.
Sure.
And where were you born?
Well, it's a tricky thing. Where I know for sure where I was born, but I was raised up in different parts. I was born in Karnal, and thereafter, because my grandparents were there for that time,
Right.
and but I'm like brought up in Punjab in various cities in Punjab because my father was a serviceman,
I see.
and he got transferred every year.
Right. Every
So
year?
every year. So being a diplomat's wife is still easier to handle as far as changing places are concerned. So so in 12 years of my school,
Yes.
I have changed something like 9 to 10 schools.
Oh
you
my
know.
God.
So yeah, that was.
So never got to make friends as a
I made
child?
friends everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. So I'm blessed that way, really. I'm
That's
blessed.
good.
I have friends everywhere, and now in every country, I guess, wherever I've been. So it was a pleasant thing, and I would not have changed it for anything else.
Anything
No,
else?
no.
No.
I love the change. It invigorates me. It inspires me. You meet new people. You meet new situations. Challenging, but interesting. Yeah.
Meeting people. The guy that you married, I'm going to find out how you met Chander, our Consul General. Good-looking man. So was
She
it
sure
love
is.
was it love at first sight?
It kind of was respect on first sight.
Respect
Love
at
came
first
a little later, probably
Okay.
from my side. His side must be different. I know you have to ask him. But yeah, he's a wonderful man. And the fact that I said yes to him, I mean, I met him and then we got married within the span of a month.
Really?
Yes, it was like that.
Wow.
So I must have thought that he's fantastic.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he definitely is. He's been my husband for 24 years.
Wow.
And he just gets better. So that's good.
So
That's
children?
wonderful. I've got one daughter, lovely, beautiful daughter, and I'm just blessed to have her. I mean, I get all overwhelmed and emotional when I talk about her for good enough reasons. But yeah, she is at 18 and a half.
Yes.
She's going to UBC now.
Good for her.
And she loves this place.
She does, eh?
She loves this place.
So when you, for her education as well must have been disrupted too because you guys were moving around.
Disrupted for sure, but then we have this wonderful system of international schools
Right.
where the curriculum is the same all over the world.
Okay.
So that kind of make life much easier for all of us.
For the children,
For
right.
the children,
Right.
for even for us, because if children suffer, we suffer more than them.
You just told me that you've been married for 24 years. I mean, I thought you were about 25, 26 years old.
A child marriage, you may say. No, thank you. Thank you for that. But no, I'm pretty old. That's yeah.
Okay, don't say that. So, aspirations for your daughter. Did your parents have any aspirations of you? Did they expect
For
you to?
sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Oh
Yeah.
yes, that generation parents, they were only expectation and aspirations.
Yeah. So you
And,
have to do this. You have to do that.
Definitely. And my father is a go-getter. He's a very strong person, very determined and very focused. I took that from him. So I'm determined, I'm focused for sure. But my parenting style have changed, which is good for my daughter because I just feel she should be happy and she should be free and she should choose whatever she wants to be.
She's a global child.
She definitely is.
Yeah.
She knows her mind, so I'm happy for that. I'm quite good with whatever decision she makes because in my heart I know she's going to make the best decision for herself.
And do you see her going, taking your profession or?
Initially, she did think of taking my profession, but there are a few subjects which she doesn't like. For example, mathematics. There's a universal hate for mathematics, and I don't blame her for that. Because of that, she's not able to take science.
Right.
But now she's very beautifully adjusted herself, and she's taking law.
Good.
So which is wonderful. So yeah, my husband also did law. So definitely she's taking after him, which is not bad.
Which is fantastic. Coming back to you, when you got married and you had your very first child, were you here? Were you in India at that time, or were you traveling?
Well, I conceived her when I was in Germany, and then having worked in Germany as a doctor, I knew what I was getting into.
Right.
And so I chose to be in India.
Right.
And I delivered her in India. But I stayed there with her for a year, and then subsequently my husband took a posting there, and we were back all as a family in India. So yeah, she's born in India, like she's raised everywhere.
So once you are in foreign service, I mean, this would be called foreign service in India, right?
Absolutely, yes.
At the end of the entire tenure of yours, do you have to go back to India and stay there for a little while and then choose another place to go to?
It depends actually.
Right.
You are free to do what you wish. So they respect your decision that way. If they accommodate you, if you can be accommodated. But generally what happens is you have 3 postings out,
Right.
which means 9 to 10 years out, and then it's 1 posting back home. So that also is a better idea, because you know there's minimum disruption, as you said, of education
For sure.
For children, which is good. I like it like that.
Right.
But I like this arrangement: 3 out and 1 in.
When you are in, obviously a diplomat is sent to a country where relationship with that country is great, and there are people from homeland that are settled there. So obviously, I don't think there is any part in the world where there aren't Indians.
No part in the world at all. You're right.
We are everywhere.
We are everywhere. Luckily,
Yeah.
luckily, fortunately, we are everywhere, and we have been very fortunate in all the postings we have been to. We have been extremely fortunate to interact with our own people.
Yeah.
Who have done fantastically well. Who are lovely people in terms of, you know, they have earned their money, but they want to give back to the community as well.
Yes.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Right.
Which is lovely. So yeah, I mean, we were very comfortable. Yeah.
So when you obviously, this is going to be a question that sort of reflects the entire India. So Europe, different kind of Indians go to Europe. East Africa, I come from East Africa, totally different kind of people went to East Africa. You go to Fiji, another
Absolutely,
sect of people that just uprooted themselves and went to Fiji. So there are obviously in America a lot of Gujaratis and a lot of Punjabis. So where do you see the most, which community do you see the most outside?
Well, if we talk about Canada now, of course, we know it's more Punjabis everywhere.
That's right.
Like I said, we have been to many countries, and they're not, Indian community is not that big. But yeah, out of like Gujaratis and Punjabis for sure, definitely.
Yeah, they're more entrepreneurial type.
Yes, absolutely. For example, if I talk about Ukraine, we had a lot of business people, and more Punjabis, I would say, more Punjabis. Gujarati is a couple, from Bihar, yes, from South, yes. So it's very diverse. Different places have their different requirements, so different kind of people get attracted to that place.
For sure.
And
I know
but
that
for sure, Punjabis are definitely more in number.
And I think sometimes we were talking about that, and I thought to myself, why do you think Punjabis get out more? It was the most affluent province of India.
Yeah.
People had the money and resources to get out and maybe make a life elsewhere. I want to talk to you about your life here and your life after leaving, which is only 5 months. You still got about 3.5 years to go, right?
Yeah.
You had an opportunity to work there in the hospital system.
Yeah.
Would you think of doing that here as well?
I would love to do it here because I think by nature I'm a healer.
Right.
And I like it when I'm in the hospital in that environment and I heal people and I see instant result. But having said that, well, I just like I mentioned
Right.
before, I am now diverted myself into public health,
Right.
which is a whole different story altogether, where we are still dealing with the, of course, healing communities, not
Right.
people now, but it's
Yeah.
healing communities and healing countries, you know. We've gone a little higher
Right.
because we kind of now deal with the policy making and programs
Right.
and stuff like that, which is more holistic.
Yeah.
And it involves, as you know, it involves, you know, it's at the national level or the regional level.
Over here, we've noticed within the community, the South Asian community, not only in Canada but also in India, there's going to be an epidemic as far as diabetes is concerned. Our community is going to be the one that is going to be carrying the most of the burden. What is it in our genes that brings that onset?
Well, again, I mean, this is a very technical question.
Yeah.
And probably I will not like to answer in yes or no, or
Right.
because there is no answer like that.
Yes.
It needs an elaborate explanation. But I would definitely say diabetes for sure is, of course, it's genetic, number
Yeah.
one, but then it's also behavioral. It's like what you do with yourself.
Lifestyle
That
as well.
reflects absolutely a question of lifestyle. And I have seen, especially Indians, we're basically sedentary. We do not, we're not very outdoor people. Plus our food is more oily, it's more salt, and it's more, and then sugar is like, we like it
Right.
very sweet that way. But more important is sedentary lifestyle that we
Right.
have.
Right.
We think we are doing a lot because we are working in the house and all, and that's not enough really. I don't
Maybe
think.
not my generation. Maybe
It's not even other generation. It's not
Right.
even the younger generation. Why? Because, like I said, okay, if we talk about back home in India,
Right.
the working conditions are not very adequate in the
Right.
sense that there's a lot of competition, which adds to stress,
Stress.
anyways.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Then you are working for long hours. So where is the time for you to exercise? When you go back home, it's you just want to really crash. You know?
That's
You
right.
just have to have your dinner, and then again our timings of eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they're all erratic, and which makes a little bit more difficult for our body, anyways.
Here is a question to a doctor. How many meals should one have? I have heard anywhere around 6 to 8 in a day. Do only 3 meals a day.
I would honestly, it's not like one design fitting all.
Yeah.
It depends on your body. For example, if you talk about me, I would
Yeah.
like to have 5 small regular meals.
Right.
But it's not possible. It's not possible because if you're working, you're not
Yeah.
carrying 5 tiffins with you, or you know, it's just become so clumsy. And
Right.
but like we've always been doing, 3 is not bad.
Yes.
But you should have you know, a little snack, a healthy snack in the
Right.
sense of fruit, a salad, or maybe smoothie, things like that. So 3 for sure, good meal. 2 snacking is not bad.
Not bad, eh?
Yeah, and then to top it all, be happy, really.
That's the best.
Yeah,
Are you the doctor in the house?
I am. Yeah, I
Are
have.
you a
I have at
strict-
least one place to work on.
Are you a strict doctor?
I'm strict. Yes, I am.
Yes.
And it makes me. It makes things easier because the people I practice on, they listen to me. So that makes it a little bit easier for me. And thank God they're healthy. So I proved my competency.
That's good. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Honestly, I don't know, because you know, if I make those firm plans
Yes.
and they don't work,
Yeah, then
which
it's-
normally they don't work,
Yes.
because given the lifestyle we have, we keep changing places, and I keep changing my mind,
Yeah.
just to adapt to the situation and
For you.
circumstances. Yeah, good for me. So I don't have any firm plans. I just go by the flow.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's nice.
but I see myself like because I've worked hard for to be in public health, and it's a new field for me. It's kind of different from what we have been taught as doctors because it is very different. So that took me initially. It took me some time to get used to that. Now, since I'm used to it, I would like to be in public health for a good reason. No? So,
Good.
so I see myself probably back to WHO because it's a fantastic place to be in, and like I said, it's very challenging. It just feels like you're dealing with some kind of emergency every day, every minute, which is good. It just makes your adrenaline pumping high, which is good. So that's what I would like to do, but whether I would be able to do it, it's a big question mark for me as well. We'll know.
Well, thank you very much for taking time and talking to us.
Thank you very much for taking your time and talking to me. Thank you.
Pleasure.